Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your October forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's really great to see everybody. Just a reminder before we begin, this forecast can be used for sun, rising, and moon sign, and this will help you navigate everything that's coming through for the month ahead. Also, before we begin, I know many of you like to see Apollo. He's right behind me, resting, holding some space. We'll periodically go back to see him, but right now, let's get into channeled messages. I take this from two different sort of sources. First and foremost, my dreams, and I also do live channeling. So as I start to focus on your sign, there's additional messages that come through, and that's why I changed the style in case you're curious. All right, so in dreams this morning, it was the power of two. I saw twins, actually, in my dreams. I kept seeing also pairs, and it was very clear to me that more could be done by pairing up, by partnering up. This also represents for some of you incoming connections. This could be love, friendship, or opportunity. And again, there's more to be had as you allow someone into your life. So that's message number one. So in real time, here's what I've been picking up on for you. I see this image of a river flowing. I can hear the sound of the water. I can almost feel the energy, almost as if I'm on a kayak or something, and it's really fast. And what I see in front of all of us right now is this dam that just broke. And there are multiple things that this could represent in your life. The first thing that I'm picking up on is that there's something that just has to give this month. You're either overcommitted, and if you keep pushing, you might get sick, or you might lose your patience, or you might just simply have an argument or something, and it's done. But that's cool in some levels because you know that what you want, what you don't, and that's powerful. But try not to get to the breaking point, okay? So that's one of the messages. The second big thing that I'm seeing here with the river metaphor is not to underestimate your power or the power of others. Think of the strength card. I mentioned that there's always, it's a diminishing return card because there's only so long she's going to be able to hold open the mouth of the lion or tiger or whatever animal they feature on it. And you kind of pick and choose your battles and realize sometimes people don't want to change. They're like the river. They just want to break free. And so either you or someone else needs to move forward and move onward. And so I do see a diverging sort of path in that situation. And it's not necessarily a bad thing because I still got the power of two. There may be someone else that's further down the river, and you have to let go of the block. And that's really what all of this is coming together and showing me. And finally, you just sometimes can't stop things from happening. So if there's a big rainstorm, a swell of water, a lot of energy, there has to be an outlet. And so if you find yourself kind of in the throes of change, this could be like Six of Swords, Tower, etc. Sometimes you just have to embrace the change and trust it's for the better. And the twinning energy that I saw also reminds you that you can lean on friends, family, and support during that. Okay? Beautiful image. And also just, I think water is a very powerful energy for you to connect to. So if you're fortunate enough to live by the ocean, a river, a lake, or anywhere out in nature, even a creek or something where you can connect with that, it could also help you get past some of your blocks. And you could use it as a meditation technique as well. Okay, let's go ahead now and give the cards a shuffle and see what additional messages come through. I'll keep an eye out for the twinning energy. I'll keep an eye out for some of the river or change energy as well. And we'll see what's in store. Before we begin, please close your eyes and let's take a moment to set intentions and call in the guides. So as you take a deep breath, imagine a blue sky above. And in this blue sky, there is possibilities. It's a limitless sky or firmament. As you start to breathe and look upward, you can see your guides, your angels, your highest self, and I'd like you to call all of those energies forth right now. Let's release anything that was tethering or blocking your own intuition, and in doing so, we've set the intention now to bring in messages for your highest good. Okay, you can open your eyes. Let's begin. So powerful. Before I even get into the rest, that we have water right at the center here and the boat. I was picking up on that. I mentioned that there may be something connected to movement, and we have confirmation right off the bat. Twinning energy, we have the lovers as well. I usually don't do commentary, but I'm seeing synchronicity, so I just wanted to mention it. Lots of water. All right, let's begin. We're going to start off with Catalyst Energy first. So the card came through reverse, but let's go ahead and look at it in the upright position and break it down. So Ceremonial Sacred Fire Dedication. This is basically a pep talk from Spirit saying, if you put your mind to it, if you're dedicated, something beautiful can happen. You can make a lot of progress. In fact, your center card today is one of movement. And we also see a lot of community, a lot of opportunity knocking. So the dedication pays off. That's the first thing. There's definitely a spiritual component. The ceremonial sacred fire could be you connecting more with meditation, spiritual practice, religion, etc., and feeling that sense of being lifted up because you're getting a little bit closer to source. Isn't it interesting, actually, that, I'm getting it now. There's no accidents, there's synchronicities, but what I was seeing with the river, it's source energy, right? So I felt the connection to source. Your connection to source is going to be different than someone else. It could be composing or listening to music. It could be camping. It could be looking at numbers and, coming up with new things scientifically. Whatever kind of lights your fire, literally the passion within, not literally, figuratively. But whatever it is that really gets you connected and excited about getting up, this is where the focus should be. And we do see a communal energy here. You don't have to do it alone. That is nicely tied into what I was picking up on in the channeled messages. I also love all of the little butterflies on this card here coming out of the fire, showing that energy of rebirth, reinvention. If at first you don't succeed, keep on trying, keep on iterating, because this lifetime is not about perfection. It's about overcoming karmic energy in the past. It's about learning to love and accept ourselves more, making changes for the better. It's just a big course or curriculum, and we create it for ourselves, and you're set up for success until your head gets in the way. So today I'm trying to open up your third eye and your heart so that you can make the best choices for you. That's all I have to do. I'm your guide, but you're the captain. All right? Let's look at all of the cards here quickly, and then we'll get into the center one. So movement, healing, emotional sensitivity, these are central themes. These are the waters that are kind of carrying you in different directions. Knocking on the door here is opportunity, and you have a chance this month to fully reconnect with your power and energy. So I like what I see. We're going to break it down into all the nuances, but suffice it to say, so far, so good. Let's get into the centermost card. This is so uncanny because now I get it. It was source energy that was coming through, but I felt the energy of water, and I mentioned it could be Six of Swords. I think I did. I hope it did. But we have it now here coming forth with this Six of Swords. So one of the things that Spirit's telling me is surrender. Surrender to being yourself. Answer the call. Go with that flow of energy that feels right. We see her kind of stuck somewhere between where she was and where she wants to be. And she's not looking around. She's looking down. So I think one of the things here is I used to say it to my mom all the time, remember to look up. And it was both something that would look up at the sky, look up at the moon, yes, but it was also look at the bright side or look at the silver lining of the situation, because Once you do, then you can get all of your crows in a row, not necessarily ducks in this card, and pull yourself in that right direction. This is also a card, by the way, that comes on the heels of grief. So if you recently went through a significant change that triggered your emotions, sometimes it's not of your choice, like if you had to leave a job before you wanted to, or if someone broke up with you, or if you lost someone that you loved. Of course, all of these can represent the Six of Swords. It does move faster than like Four of Swords energy. So I feel like you're making more headway than you believe, and that's why it's important to look up, to look around, and to get your bearings. And that's the first message that comes through right here in the center. Crossing that Six of Swords, we have the Five of Wands. There's a call here to collaborate. Usually this represents competition rather than collaboration. And what's lacking here sometimes is a cohesive vision and everybody sort of aligned behind that. So this, for some of you, could be a work, school, or even a relationship sort of energy where it feels like you're just pulled in different directions. And that was nicely aligned with the whole river mental image that I had earlier. So focus on doing what you can. Try to be a leader. Try to lead by example if you can. But the main thing here is not to get burned out or worn out. And again, realizing that sometimes people, they're too busy trying to be seen and heard to listen. And that's really frustrating sometimes, right? So one of the consistent messages this month is to know when to stay and to know when to move on. Also to realize when it's worth your time and energy to try to be the voice of reason and when people just aren't listening. So use your best judgment here, but I think the main thing for you to focus on is getting finished with the task at hand and moving on to the next thing. Here's a really shining, beautiful energy here in the deep past. We have the Lovers coming through, representing the work you've done on yourself, basically to accept who you are, hopefully to feel kind of comfortable in your own skin. And if there's anything that you need to do to get more into that space, now's the time to do it, because somebody else wants to come in. Again, it could be a friend, a business partner, or a lover. And the Lovers works that way. It's basically a big magnet. Someone's being pulled in and they're gonna mirror who you are and how much work you've done. So keep getting into this, loving yourself unconditionally and giving others in your life the freedom to come and go. You know, I'm thinking back to the energy of the river and the dam, which represents control. And, you know, free-flowing love is more like the Lovers, and the dam is more like the devil, trying to control that energy of love. So love unconditionally, release things that need to be released. Literally, your center card is the Six of Swords, which is release. And by doing that, you're going to allow yourself to be free. Free your thoughts, free your heart, and move forward. One thing that's coming through in the recent past that could be your block, that could be sort of the dam in the river of your heart, is this Five of Pentacles. It's the feeling of I didn't do it, or I can't do it. Like it's a perceived setback, but really what it is someone coming through showing their true colors. So a teacher, a parent, a friend, somebody that you needed, they weren't there. Here's the cool thing, and this artist did a fantastic job with this. There's a skeleton key and a door here that represents shelter and opportunity. Once you realize that you hold the key to move on, you are the one that you can rely on. You're the source. You're the source of energy and movement and power and intuition. That's when things start to really get exciting. The next card in this suit is balance. So you're just one step away from finding that sure footing or that feeling of having just enough to get to the next level. So don't second guess yourself here. Whoever couldn't see your potential, again, I always feel like that is more indicative of their lack of imagination or their lack of knowledge. Five of Pentacles can also represent a need to heal your body. If you've been working too much, this can be cold or flu. This can also be an injury to your knees, your ankle, or your foot, basically lower extremities. Slow down. That's the main message here. Take care of your health, take care of yourself, and know that you indeed are worthy. It's just a matter now of believing it because someone got into your headspace a little bit. This is a gorgeous Ace of Swords. Some of you may have a new contract in front of you, an opportunity to start something new, a new job. You might be looking at a lease or a mortgage. You may also be putting something into written form to get sort of like sign off from someone else. No matter how you look at the Ace of Swords, it's possibility and it's positive. It's also potential and it requires your investment. Basically, this stairwell is representative of the fact that an idea is only as good as the follow through. And this is a chance to really keep yourself accountable to a goal, to a vision, to a plan, and say, keep it short, keep it simple. This is the one thing that I need to have done today or this week. And by keeping it attainable and continuing to put energy behind it, less is more. The attention is powerful, and you can really connect with your inner magician and make it work. Also, believing in yourself. Your passion, your belief, your ability to fight for it as well, because that sword can represent saying, I really want this. That is what's going to make you stand out of the crowd. And we can see that there could be competition for, someone's attention this month, and that's how you can stand out. Loving and accepting yourself. Basically also feeling the sense of this is good, you can take it or leave it in the best way possible. And also surprising people with your intellect. Show them the depth of your emotions and your creativity and your insight. And that is, again, how you can unlock the door that once was this Five of Pentacles here. Emotions are the biggest challenge for many of you. So not getting overwhelmed perhaps by this feeling of, I want to do it, but it's going to take so much time. You don't know that. Or feeling like if I don't succeed, it's going to really hurt. And well, what if you do succeed? What if they're going to like it? This card is showing that sinking feeling that we can create for ourselves by overthinking something before it's even had a chance to take flight. The Moon card is also about facing fears head on and thinking, well, what if I can get through this? What if it's not a big deal, and really kind of getting your power back? And that is the next card here, is the Empress. So we'll talk more about that in a second. But if you need help, remember the power of two. Talking to a friend, a teacher, a mentor, a therapist, whoever you need to basically overcome this fear or anxiety is key. One thing that's going to be really important this month is integrity and honesty. The Moon card sometimes can represent someone that hasn't told the complete truth or has been sort of like keeping one thing back. So ask a question, really take initiative and control over this, and get a second set of eyes on any sort of contract. The card representing you this month is so powerful here. We have the Empress. We can see that she is capable of birthing or creating something. This is also a card of empowerment and power in general. So if there's something that you need or want this month, taking the initiative is absolutely the way to make this happen. This is also a call to take better care of yourself. So as we saw in the recent past, there could have been, whether it was a former partner or a parent or somebody who just wasn't there, they were missing in action when you needed them the most. You're learning to rely on yourself. You're learning to take care of yourself. When you do that, then you have more energy for birthing and creating whatever you need to do in your life. Some of you may also have just started a job, a relationship, or maybe a family, because this can also represent all of those things. But as a worthy card, this is one of the ultimate. This is saying you are powerful, you are someone who can create great things, but you really need to believe in your own capacity. So another pep talk from Spirit and from me, you can do this. In fact, opportunity is knocking here with the Knight of Pentacles. It's in the environment, and this could be a job opportunity. This could be that partner walking towards you. This could be you walking towards something amazing. What I love about this particular illustration is you can see that it's due to the fact that you've been diligent, hardworking, that you've planted all of these seeds of intention, and all of that has brought you to this moment. This is a synchronicity that you don't want to ignore. This is a door that is opening. The thing is, you have to be ready and willing to open it, because in the past, maybe fear held you back from taking that key and opening it. The good news is we're seeing a really good trajectory here between the Five of Pentacles and the Knight. It's almost an amazing rebound here that we're looking at. So whatever didn't work before, it's so not important right now, because This is bigger, brighter, doubly or triply better than what you saw in the past. So I really want you to embrace this doorway or this portal of opportunity. It feels like it portends good things. There may be a move involved with this as well. I think it's worth it because we have a card of movement here. I see the world connected to this Empress card. So this could be a positive move for you. Moving up, moving out, moving on. One of the things that's challenging here is just letting go of beating yourself up for something that didn't work out. Also realizing that sometimes we're never going to be able to get the approval from someone that we need. Eventually you just have to love yourself, validate yourself, and give yourself permission to move on. I think there's someone in your life that's having a hard time letting go. These strings are what I'm paying attention to. The fact that this is reversed, it's more indicative of someone else holding on to a grudge, to trying to control you. It could be someone that doesn't want to see you do better because they're not in a good space. You can let it go. That's their path. That's their connection to this situation, but it's not necessarily reality, and there's not much that you can do about that. It's their reality. Let's put it that way. I don't want to diminish it. So you have permission to move on. It's okay to cut the cords if you need to. The minute you do that, we have 2 3s. So one is staying connected to this person, place, or thing that pulls you down, and the other one is moving forward towards this celebratory card. And this is your outcome, 3 of Cups. Good news. This is connected to good news. It can be a party. It can be a celebration. It can be new friendship, new love. You could be dating. You could be exploring new things. It's all about expansion and looking at the opportunities. The only cautionary note with both the 9 of Cups and the 3 of Cups is just not to go overboard if you're having fun, for instance. So I'm all for, a vacation, a holiday, or a splurge, but know your limits, know your budget, and everything in moderation. All right? Let's expand this a little bit and take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to start off with your health card, which is mind, body, and spirit. Let's see what the Oracle card has to say. We have the meerkat coming through. Although we're looking at health, this has a lot of energy connected to community because meerkats are social animals. They are responsible, they demonstrate altruism, and there are myths about that sort of needing to keep your word with a meerkat. I believe the hyena is connected to that as well because it didn't keep its word. So being accountable to yourself and being accountable to others. It's good just for good karma. It's also good for your health. There may be people around you that lack integrity, that lack honesty, and if they show their true colors, cutting the cords, that's one of the things that's coming through here. All right, let's look at this just from the perspective of health. The 3 of Swords takes on a different perspective when we're looking at health. It can actually be about making sure that you're getting enough physical activity. If you have any history of blood sugar, heart disease, or even high blood pressure, it's just about focusing on taking good care of your heart. Obviously, for that kind of health issue, you'd want to work with your doctor, but it is coming through. And it is something that is in the malleable portion, hopes, fears, and opportunities. So you have a chance to make an impact on that. And that's a good place for that to be. Additionally, it can just be about letting go of any sort of pain that you're holding on to. And again, it could be leaning on friends. It could be focusing it on some sort of a productive, creative outlet. There could also be therapy. Whatever you need to make that healing happen, that's the main focus here. The Moon card, again, is kind of mirroring what we saw here with this, talking about, accountability, honesty, and things of that nature. It also has to do with your, it can be reproductive health and also just hydration as well. If you're not drinking enough, this is a call to be more mindful of how much water you're putting into your body and avoiding things like caffeine, alcohol, and soda, which can dehydrate you. The 5 of Pentacles, although not illustrated as such here, can also indicate a need to take care of your feet, ankles, and legs, and improve circulation in that area as well. This is also a perfect time to make an important move. This could be your first house, your first apartment, or moving in or out of a sort of relationship. Whatever this move is, it looks auspicious, and really Spirit is encouraging you to make a change this month. It's not about the status quo, the same old, same old. Let's turn the page and try something new. That's going to improve your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, and all of that pulled together is going to bring you in a better trajectory. Let's move on to wealth, resources, life purpose, and career. And as we take a look at this, we have a very wordy card, so I'm going to have to pull it upright and talk about it here. It says, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So it's trusting that that the universe is guiding you, basically. What I like about this is right-minded thinking, energy of love. So love yourself, forgive yourself, and trust that there is a path and that there is a compass. I think the other thing here is to tune into that compass. So bringing it back to the catalyst, this ceremonial sacred fire and dedication. Because it was reversed, some of you might be lacking that dedication, that sort of practice. So take some time every morning to meditate. You know, even before we did the cards here and looked at what was coming through, we set an intention, we connected to source. It only took 30 seconds. You can do a meditation as little as 30 seconds. See how it changes your path each and every day, particularly with your ability to manifest, recognize synchronicities, and also release any energy that might be kind of creating blocks or blinders that inhibit your ability to move forward. Let's go ahead now and take a look at, first and foremost, those in a job. Then we'll look at job seekers. Then we'll look at students and retirees. If you have a job right now, regular 9 to 5, stress management and health management are really, really important. Again, some of you have been sort of working to the point of exhaustion or sickness or fatigue. It's time for a holiday, a sick day, vacation, whatever you can do. Even just getting a little bit of distance, working from home if your company allows that. All of these things would be advantageous. It's also important not to sacrifice physical activity just for productivity. So making sure that you're stretching, that you're taking care of your heart health. I mean, it's coming through here as well. And also not sacrificing happiness. Because when you're unhappy, that could be why dedication is lacking. It's hard to sort of like want to go above and beyond when you're not feeling supported, or like when we're looking at this, what it can represent in a current job is competition, lack of collaboration, lack of communication, some morale issues, and then just your own disconnect. What I do like about this spread, though, is there is an ability to move ahead if you want to. Part of it is recalibrating, finding a way to kind of like focus on your own thing. And in time, you might be able to level up, and there's a chance for a transfer for some of you. This is moving, but it could be within the same company to a different office or a different location. And that could be really empowering. I like the group there better. Really focus on finding fewer people, but better people to connect with, and walking away from some of this stuff because it probably isn't worth your time and energy. There's nothing here that alerts me to things are going to be difficult. I think it's more emotional this month than anything. And if there has already been something challenging, it feels like it transpired by the time you watch this reading. 6 of Swords is movement. It's already happening. This could be change of guard, like a new boss. You could just be starting something new, and it's sort of this sense of, can I do this? And you're worried of, failing, but you won't. By the way, if you just started a new job, you're worthy, they're receptive, they're happy with what you're doing, but your emotions are blocking progress, and it's from the past, not the present. So it actually looks pretty good for people that have just started something new, and it's manageable if you're experiencing that sense of, I need to clear my head and just get back to what matters. If you want to look for work, though, we do see an opportunity knocking, so that's a nice segue into the next step. But before we do that, I want to actually also acknowledge people like you. They like what you've been doing. Focus on the people skills and the networking. That is what's going to help you here, and it'll also help you for the next level, whether you decide to stay or go somewhere else. It's who you know with the Lovers and the 3 of Cups. Entrepreneurs, before we go on to the next step, I want to also touch upon you. Finances are a little bit lower for you. Try not to overextend. So if there's something new that you want to launch, I feel like you're tied in too many different directions right now, and it's almost like you need to cut out something that is underperforming, a product or service. And then also, if you do have a small group of people working for you, there could be some morale issues. So it's really important to take some time to say thank you, to reward good work, look at bonuses, raises, things of that nature, so that people feel inspired to continue, okay? And I do see things getting better here in the next quarter, for instance, with the Knight of Pentacles here. So there we go. For those of you looking for work, I feel like you can actually find it here because of this card, but you have to move in a different place. Like either physically move or you need to be looking elsewhere. Also, look at all the different things that you've sent out. There might be one of these that requires a follow-up, or you might have gotten a follow-up and you didn't see it. So kind of look through your emails, your texts, and see if there's also someone that might be able to get you a connection to that job. Because the Lovers and the Three of Cups shows that it's all about who you know. And allowing yourself to also go to certain professional events and networking events, very pivotal as well. Talking to friends and family members about what you're looking for can help too. There just may be good word of mouth. Oh yeah, I know someone here. Give me your resume and I'll get it to them. That kind of energy coming through. Your biggest challenge is this feeling of, especially if you've been looking for a while, it starts to chip away at self-confidence. That is that feeling of being alone and people don't understand. This is wondering if it's going to get better. This is that feeling of frustration. I get it. But I do see something breaking through here. So please socialize, talk to other people, connect with those events, special events, get out there, mix and mingle. I feel like there's at least one option on the horizon, and it looks decent to me, okay? For those of you that are students, here's what I see for you. Be careful. Like if you haven't gotten, if you like to get things like vaccinations and want to, it's a good time for a cold and flu one because this can represent a cold. A way to make sure that you don't get sick is to get enough sleep and to not overwork. So however you want to look at this, take care of yourself because if you overwork, then I see a cold coming through. It's avoidable. So self-care, and you have lots of options. Everybody approaches it differently. I also think that for some of you, there's just heavy stress. You're succeeding, but you're stressed. Five of Pentacles, Moon, and Three of Swords are the only cards that are challenging. Everything else is good. So everybody deals with stress differently. There could be other elements that are coming through, like something going on in your family or in your dorm, or you're just having a hard time concentrating. So whatever you need to do to alleviate the stress and deal with the distraction, that's essential so that you can move on to the next level. But you're okay. And I actually like what I see here overall. I think that, you know, for some of you, if it is just a matter of there's too much going on, then just cut out an activity, maybe a relationship that's taking too much time and energy, and that will free up your mind so you can focus on what matters most. You also might have just landed in a relationship, and that is also creating some chaos, but that could be a good thing because not like that not the chaos, but love is fun, but it also is distracting, and you just have to find a way to integrate it more seamlessly into your life. And so I just see the adjustment period coming through. Retirees. Well, I think the main thing here is finding something that makes you happy. It's a new purpose, if you will. And it's some of you, I get that sense of isolation here. You can definitely see it in the Five of Pentacles. And I think that there could have also, we're almost into the love energy here, but some of you may have loved and lost. And there's still that sense of disconnect because maybe your partner and or their activities, it was part of your social outlet, and now you're having to find new connections. So for those of you that are kind of on that side of the fence, it's about finding your own new things that you want to connect to, and you'll meet new people in that process. I actually see some of you wanting to either write or learn. It could be just a single class that you're auditing for the fun of it. I like it, but this is about opening your mind up to something new and really taking on a new experience. And then a little bit of travel, but the fact that this Knight is walking is showing me that it could be, travel around town, taking a hike, or if you do take a vacation, because this could be traveling, it is something where you get to take your time, drink in the sights and sounds, and not be on a schedule. That's one of the cool things about retirement, right? You don't have to necessarily listen to someone else's schedule. And let's not forget about the ceremonial energy here. spiritual development, faith, religion, all of these things could actually be a nice grounding stone for you in this period of time. Let's move on now. We're going to take a look at love. And in love, we've got the whale spirit coming through. Beautiful energy. It says, trust the great mystery. Also, this is the King of Cups, folks. Whenever you get a whale or a shark coming through, they're big apex predators or at the top of the food chain, and this represents your ability to really make a splash as well. And trusting the mystery, this is trusting the connection. It's either there or it isn't. So whether it's a friendship, a job, or a love interest, because partnership can go in all of those directions, trust in the connection and trust it from the beginning. It usually isn't going to change radically from that moment. Let's look at 3 major relationship statuses. Those who are currently in a relationship, looking for love, or happily single. If you're in a relationship, I love the grounding energy here in the lovers. This is what you want to always find a way to get back to, that energy of mutual love and support. The recent challenge in many relationships could be financial. There could have been loss of job, loss of some sort of, even like material objects or something. It could have been because of, fire or theft or something like that. But it also could just be emotional. I feel like one partner's going through a moment where they're doubting themselves. And this is where partnership is great, because the partner sees the worth and they're going to try to help. They're going to try to help the other person see it. If someone in your life is saying that they see you as strong and powerful, I see it in the cards too. But you have to believe it yourself. If you're trying to get your partner to see something from a new perspective, remember what I said, there's only so much you can do, and it may be at a point where they need help outside of that. You're not the doctor, you're the partner. So that's all I really need to say on that. Help them find the support that they need is, I guess, what I would advise on that. Ace of Swords, keep the lines of communication open, keep it constructive. I don't think there's really a need to be critical right now. Listening, she's not speaking. Realize swords are communication, and part of communication is receiving, and the focus here is receiving. Validate what you've received is accurate. So active listening and validation of that, saying, is this what you mean? Or I heard you say this, and I thought about this. How can I help you? What does this mean to you? So engaging with them, showing them that you're listening. And I use this technique with my mom, who's in spirit now, but we were very similar on some things. So as we both got older and just kind of became more friends than parent and child, I would sometimes say, what do you need? Do you just need support? And she would say yes. Or she would just start the conversation off saying, can I just vent? I would say, absolutely. And sometimes I would just mute myself and just listen. That way I wasn't going to interrupt. I would sometimes come off mute and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Mute again, so I wasn't tempted. And then I would let her talk, and then at some point if she asked me, well, what do you think? Sometimes she would just have to get it all out, and then she would say, okay, now what do you think? I would wait for the invitation. Otherwise, I would just say, I love you. Let me know what I can do for you. Do you want to go get a bite to eat or something? There are different ways to show support. You don't have to fix it. It's so much easier. That took a weight off me. If I don't have to fix it, I can just be there for you. Cool. Done and dusted. What's next? So don't feel like you have to fix it. You can just listen. You can just support. Okay? Other things that I see here with respect to relationships, again, with the honesty, this could be what this is about too. There could be something from the past that reemerges, and it's like, well, why don't we talk? Why don't you tell me that? And sometimes until you really get to know someone, you may be afraid to share certain details or whatever. So instead of going to the accusatory piece, just say, I'm glad you told me now. I wish you could have told me sooner. Please feel free to tell me things like this so that we can remain close and I can support you and I can understand what you're going through. That's a way of saying, don't do it again, but without saying it. So I'm not a couples therapist. I'm not a therapist, but through my own experience, the thing that I'm seeing here that I feel like many of you need to connect with is just listening and exercising compassion towards yourself and towards the partner. It's pretty much everything. I think everything else is manageable. Some of you just decided to embark on parenthood, maybe adoption, pregnancy, IVF, or just looking and thinking about that next chapter and looking at the financial piece, which is definitely a part of it. So I'm glad that you're looking at that. The only thing that's kind of interesting here with the 3 of Cups is some of you may be deciding like you miss connecting with larger groups. So maybe as a couple, you could start hanging out with other couples, or you could take on a new activity together. I mentioned with retirees that learning was part of this. Couples, it could be the same thing where you decide to learn a new sport or a new activity or take a class together. And also, this is just about people minding their own business. Everybody has some opinions. There could be a friend that tries to weigh in, and I can see him here with the Three of Swords. Keep them at distance, okay? Pretty much everything fairly manageable. Distance can also play a large component to the stress. So if one of you is traveling or if it's long distance, that's something that might be a point of contention. If you're looking for love, I'm looking at the ceremonial card here. I think there could be different backgrounds, spiritual backgrounds or religious backgrounds. You could also be meeting someone through some sort of a religious or meditative type activity. So yoga, church, maybe a meditation meetup or something like that. But don't be surprised if the person, even if you share a lot in common, the fact that I saw the diverging sort of forks in the river, that there could still be some areas where you're there to teach each other. And so get to know them and get to know if that's a deal breaker for you. Challenges in this period of time, self-confidence. Because if this is present, then this energy can't come through as unconditional. There's going to be some moodiness, some tests, some people trying to show you that you are worthy or reinforce that feeling that you're not worthy enough. So really focus on that feeling of being ready, worthy, and more than enough for yourself or someone else. We have a lot of cards showing difference or distance. The world, even though this is the Empress, she's got the world in her belly here. So we've got someone from a different part of the world or that travels a lot or has a different religious or philosophical POV, and that's going to shake things up a little bit. It could be too much. That's the one thing that I see here. Some of you are also on the heels of a breakup or a loss, and that needs to be mourned and released before the new person can come in. We have earth energy coming through, someone that is, responsible, very, very capable, and that's why I want you to be ready for that. So I think the healing is the main challenge right now. Give yourself time to just get to know them. Don't rush into it. Let your heart heal. Make sure that they are available and that their heart is ready to love as well. You have a lot in common to talk about, so take time and exercise that communication. All right, so for those that are single and happy, good for you. Lots of energy here with personal development and financial recovery. And it really is a sort of journey of recovery or growth. 5 of Pentacles to the Knight. It's like a doubling. Obviously, the big takeaway here is not to sell yourself short. And if there's anything or anyone that really wants to connect with you right now, negotiate and make sure that it's worth your time. It's worth your energy. Finally, as we take a look at the outcome here with the 3 of Cups, it's an invitation to mix and mingle, because you never know who you're going to meet or what they're going to connect you to. And I feel like this is a really great way for you to expand your horizons. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the final piece for today, and that is the vow. This is in Destiny. Keep your promises. I feel like this is connected with the meerkats. And so integrity plays a really important role. Also, there could be someone reaching out and wanting you to sign a contract. That is connected with the Ace of Swords, which was in the crowning position. So only say yes if you mean it. If you have any questions or if you're not clear, speak up. And know that this is a promise that can last. This is something like 4 of Wands energy that could go the distance. But someone's looking for your commitment. So think to yourself in advance of that, especially if you kind of feel it coming, like if there's a freelance job and you know they're going to offer you something, or if you've been dating for a while and you know that it's time to have that talk about exclusivity, whatever it is, get ready for that question so that it doesn't take you off of your guard. You're just going to be able to say yes, because, or no, thank you. And that's all I have to say for that. Let's go ahead now and look at sun, rising, and moon sign messages, so that you can drill into each of those categories a little bit deeper here. So here we go. And at the beginning of all of these, I say this can be used for sun, rising, and moon. This is just helping you fine tune that a little bit more. All right. Sun, rising, moon. All right, we got a lot of reversals here. That's okay. Let's break it down. In the sun sign, we have the 4 of Cups in the reverse state. This is about recalibrating and seeing something from a new perspective. She's actually at the end of the rainbow. So there's been a lot of challenge, a lot of movement. For some of you, that could be the Six of Swords, releasing something. And now that she's there, she's missing the sort of like blessing in disguise, basically. So if you've had some sort of a challenge in your life, a loss, a change, or movement that was out of your control, and you're still in that sense of, but I wanted it that way. Okay. However, now that you're here, take a look around. What's available to you? There are no accidents because, let's go back to this one. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So it's trying to get you in the right place, folks. You're in the right place, but you have to be able to see it. Look around. Also, don't compare yourself to other people. We all do it from time to time. Is it healthy? No. Is it productive? Not really. It can sometimes inspire us, but often it irks us. So focus on you, what you need, what you want, what you can do, and that is going to bring you back into your power and help you see the opportunities that are already right there. All right, let's go ahead and move on from Sun to Rising. Don't give up. This card was reversed. The Nine of Wands is a card of completion. I love that she is standing there with her torch and saying, I've come this far. I'm going to see it to the Ten of Wands, to completion. You're usually a little bit worse for the wear. We can see her shirt's a little bit tattered here. In the traditional card, which I'll pull up while we're talking, the person often has bandages on their forehead. This can represent that feeling of, gosh, this took a mental toll, right? So I'm just validating that some of you may still be feeling that sense here that you're tired in your head, if that makes sense, and it's now making your vitality or your body feel tired. So it's really important for you to have a sense of distance, taking a break, taking a vacation, so you can get your perspective, not too different from what we were just talking about with the Four of Cups. Don't give up. You're very, very close to the finish line. It may seem like it's out of reach, but it's not. It's really close. You've come this far. Don't give up. Moving on to Moon sign, Death in reverse. In the upright position, this is the best death card, I think, in any deck, but it represents a portal. You just have to allow yourself to move through it. But in the reverse state, sometimes we hold ourselves back. Sometimes someone else does. If there's anything in your life where you're not able to grow or go where you need to, it is time to cut those ties. And we see some of them here. It's just time to take those cords, cut them, and allow yourself to go through this and really see the death and rebirth energy as two parts of the same whole. I love that this card actually puts rebirth on it as well. Too often do we focus on this word. This is just a portal. It's just a change. It's a necessary change at that. All right, as promised, let's take a quick look at Apollo, who is just chilling out, continuing to hold some space for us. And let's get ready now for the final card. This is your chance to ask one more question. Anything that I've yet to answer, go ahead and put that out there for Spirit to weigh in, and I'm going to shuffle while you do that. It's one of the best cards I could get for a final card. We have Two of Wands energy coming through. First of all, this is saying if you believe it, you can see it, you can create it. It's a card of visualization and planning, and that's really the call to action. So it's yes, comma, but you have to do some planning, you have to believe it, and it is encouraging you to look at least one alternative. There may be something even better than you thought was available. A fun fact, as I was looking for this particular apartment, there were two that opened up, and I didn't act quickly enough on one that was really nice, one floor up. There was another one that was available, but it was by air conditioning units. The view was bad, and I was like, I really would like to be here, but these aren't it. I'm going to have to look. I'm going to have to look beyond. And just as I did that, another one, this one, opened up. So you never know. If you allow yourself to look beyond a couple of choices, there may be a third. That's the Three of Wands. So keep looking. I feel like there may be a surprise in store for you if you're willing and ready to look around just a little bit. Okay, folks? That is today's reading. I hope you enjoyed it. This, again, can take you through the next month. So please keep me posted. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let me know what resonated, what challenges you're going through, what you liked in this reading. I read every single comment, and it really helps me do a better job here. So thank you in advance. You can also give me a follow on social media. It's always my full name on all major platforms. Keep in mind, I do not offer private readings, nor do I use messages for business. So if someone says, send them money, or, that they're drawn to you or whatever, just know that's a scammer. The best way to connect is by watching videos here on YouTube and tuning into my live streams. I do one every single Sunday, so join me. It's 9:15 a.m. on Sundays. I'd love to have you there. If you want to show support, do it here on YouTube through a super sticker, super chat, or a membership. And I do have membership perks, so check it out if that's something that you're interested in. And I think that's everything. If you want more information about me, you can always go on my website as well. In the meantime, both Apollo and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. I wish you the best in the month ahead, and take care. Bye-bye.